So hello fellow Earthlings. This is Earthling 6455463728. And I wanted to talk about some discrepancies in videos that I might have seen. Did I say recently? These are slip of the tongues, errors, whatever. And yeah, certainly people can come back at me about them or what I've said, and that's fine. So first off, a while ago I saw Joe Rogan and he was talking to Hannibal Burgess, and I think I have that right. And they were talking about, in Mexico City there's so much pollution, and Hannibal had been to Nigeria and there's so much pollution there as well, air pollution because of the traffic, and in China and some of these places. And one of the things that was missing from their conversation was the fact that the US used to be quite like that. Maybe it was before their time, but before the Environmental Protection Agency was in existence, there was rampant pollution, and there was very little legislation, as far as I know, to protect the environment, because that would have been a newer thing. I saw pictures of cars being dumped in a lake, and of course, the smog that was all over the place. Now California, one of the places that had the most smog, and probably still does to an extent. I mean, they have some of the strictest air quality laws in the country, in the US. So that has changed things. But, with Republicans wanting to undo legislation, and Trump is appointing people to different positions that actively opposed those reforms in the government, with respect to those positions. He hiring people who did not like the EPA to run the EPA. He's hiring people who had problems with the educational board to run the board the Secretary of Education, which is ridiculous. So they really want to get rid of the EPA altogether, at which point America would start looking a lot like the rest of the world, the less developed world, where many of those manufacturing jobs, coal burning plants, etc., went to. So that could easily all come back, and it would look very familiar. Sites as in Mexico and China and all these other things. So I thought that was kind of interesting. On another deal with a mistake, an oversight, whatever, Jada Pinkett Smith came out with her admission that she and August, what's his name, the singer, did have a relationship. But one of the things that kind of rubbed me the wrong way was that she is saying that he said he spoke to Will, and Will gave his permission. Now you see, that's something where somebody speaking another language might have a problem, because the guy never said anything about permission. He said that Will gave his blessing. That is completely different, or substantially different, from permission. Blessing is, well, I guess you can interpret it like that. Again, in terms of, I don't know that he said that he was asking for anybody's blessing, but Will gave his blessing. But there's a different word, and I guess there is a little bit of overlap. I think there's a little bit of overlap between blessing and permission. But I think she just went full hog into this permission thing, which was never what the dude really said. He said that, but at least she interpreted it correctly, which is to say that Will was okay with it. Being okay with something is not the same as giving you permission for it. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but at least she didn't, expand in that direction, and she took it in the right way, even though she said the complete wrong, or okay, it's not complete, but I feel that she interpreted it completely wrong. That wasn't what the guy was meaning at all, but I guess she She took his real words, mixed them up, but understood what he meant to say anyway, I guess. On another level, I was listening to Candace Owens, and I finally saw a video with her husband, who, surprise, surprise, is a conservative like her, but he is from Britain, and he is a part of the, I don't know what you would say, the landed class, aristocracy. I don't know that he has no, he does have a title. He does have a title, so I guess he is part of the aristocracy of Britain. Anyway, he was talking about the fact that, if you go to some of these countries in the world and you tell them about gay people and you ask if they know what that is, they'll look at you confused and they won't know what you're talking about and they'll be trying to understand. And this is, I guess, supposed to be proof that being gay and this other stuff is weird and unusual. Hasn't this guy heard about how the Greeks used to go down? I'm confused. Hasn't this guy heard about how the samurai used to go down? I'm confused. Hasn't this guy heard about there was an explorer to Antarctica who had a book that documented homosexuality amongst penguins, and I think other animals as well. But also on the book, it said not for publication. And there it is. This guy, and he isn't even the only one. Other people have documented homosexuality in nature. So I think instead of the guy thinking that modern people are confused, I think that he is confused because homosexuality it's out there. It's been out there. As a matter of fact, I read Japanese manga. And right now I'm reading about characters who look female, but they're male. And nobody comes out and is like, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this. It just, oh, you're a girl? I mean, you're a boy? Oh, okay. I didn't realize. That's it. It was in Naruto. It's in, I think, several other. There's even a boy manga for girls, I guess, primarily. You have two attractive guys in this manga that is intended for girls. And a lot of people, there's manga directed at all sorts of people in Japan. So I think this guy obviously doesn't know as much as he thinks that he does. Now, I'm going to think I do more pieces about Korea, but I was reading in this Korean newspaper, online, of course, and they were talking about the liberal government in Korea, in power right now, and Koreans re-elected him with an overwhelming support because the guy handled and is handling the coronavirus in Korea really well. So he's making Koreans look very good. So people were like, yeah, another term for you. Anyway, there's criticism, obviously, I think, by conservatives that this guy he has a pro-union stance, and he is limiting the amount of work that people can do in a week, 52 hours, and all of these things are going to hold back the Korean economy. And I'm like, wait, have you not seen the studies that said that anything over 55 hours a week is pretty much useless? There have been studies that have said that. And this newspaper, which isn't unusual in Korea, overwork is a big thing, and several Asian countries, as a matter of fact. But I guess they have not looked at the studies that are indicating that more hours, it's not even that the work is less quality. Past a certain point, you might be doing a detriment to the business and the organization. What you're producing might create problems. So I guess they haven't heard of that one. Also, in terms of regulations, it's better in some cases that certain companies and certain industries not exist at all if they're based in a way that's going to destroy the economy and destroy the society, like, smoking. That's an industry that probably should not exist. So the fact that, they're upset that, oh, these regulations are, preventing job growth. Yeah, that's fine. If it's job growth that is unhealthy job growth, yeah, that is totally fine that doesn't happen. So, and with respect to unions, unions are what represent workers. Without unions, you can have poor safety in a company. You can have people really being of a poor service to the company, as I said, by having them work hours that, look at Chernobyl. I'm not saying that Chernobyl is a result of overwork, but things like that can happen when you have people who are working past the point of where it's not even about diminishing returns, it's about bad, toxic returns to the environment, to the business. Anyway, those are some things, some discrepancies, I guess, that I am interested in and I wanted to talk about. I might have missed one or two, but those are the big ones. So anyway, guys, you can wish me lucks. You can like, unlike, comment, subscribe, and or share. And of course, I prefer not, but you can do nothing. Peace.